Hello friends, welcome to Ma'am and Me Maths class. In the last class I have taught you about fraction. So now we will move on to decimal. So let us see what is decimal. So deci means any number which is divided by 10 or powers of 10. Then such numbers are called decimal numbers or decimal fraction. See here. If I write 3 by 4, see the 3 is numerator, 4 is denominator. Here denominator is 4. If the same number, if I write as 3 by 10, see not the same number. One more example I have taken. If I write 3 by 10, now the denominator is 10 and the numerator is 3. If the denominator is 10, any number whose denominator is 10, any fraction whose denominator is 10 or powers of 10, that means 100,000 like this, such fractions are called decimal fraction. Decimal fractions. But this number is just a fraction. This is decimal fraction because its denominator is 10. So let us study this deeply. Okay. Now you know about the place value table. So in the place value table, first we will write ones place, tens place, 100 place, 1000 place, 10,000 place, like this it continues. Similar, say from ones to tens place, what you are going to multiply? If you want to go from one place to tens place, we have to multiply with 10. One place in the tens place ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು 10 ಅನ್ನು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ತರ 10 ಇಂದ 100 ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ one more 10 ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Multiply by 10, multiply by 10. Like this it goes on, increases. The place value of the number increases if you multiply by 10. Ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000 like this. Similarly, if you divide the same ones place by 10, see nanige divide by 10 ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? 10 ಪಟ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಪಟ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. 10 times it is increasing. But here it is decreasing 10 times. Okay. Now how to write this? It is represented as tens. It is named as tens place ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇದನ್ನು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? 1 by 10. ಇದು 1, ಇದು 10, ಇದು 100, ಇದು 1000. ಹೀಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಒನ್ನನ್ನು 10 times ನಾವು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸನ್ನು. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಬೈ 10 or divide by 10, the value will now named as 100th place. See, this th is extra here. Here 100, here is 100th. Here it is tens, here it is tens place. Okay, so therefore now it is represented as 1 by 100. Similarly, it continues. 1000th place. It is 1 by 1000 times less. So, if you want to represent this side number, here, say here, if I write this number, 236. This is ones place. 6 is in ones place, 3 is in tens place, 2 is in 100 place. So, how I am going to write this number? How I am writing in the standard form? So, it is 236. I will read this as 236. If the number comes in this side, the tens place, 100 place like this. See for example, 4 is in tens place, 7 is in 100th place. Then how to express this? Then we have to put a decimal point here. This point represents the separation of decreasing the value and increasing the value. See here this point, after putting the point we have to write this tens and hundredth place. So 4 and 7 we have to write here, and you have to read it as 236.47, not 47. You have to read it as 236.47. Okay. So this is how we are going to represent the decimal number. Have you understood about the decimal? So decimal means the value goes on decreasing 10 times. 10 times, 10 times it is decreasing. Here 10 times, 10 times it is increasing. Decreasing means it is, we are dividing the ones place by 10, 100, 1000 like this. Okay. Now, so this is what the decimal number, and symbolically we will represent the decimal number using this point. If I express this in terms of decimal fraction, means how to express? See, 236. So now I have to remove this point. If I want to remove this point, means it will convert it into fraction. 236, and I have to remove this point. And after point, how many numbers are there? Those many zeros you have to write in the denominator. Say after point, how many decimal places we have? 4 and 7, 2 decimal places. So those many zeros you have to write in the denominator. So that is converted as decimal fraction. This is decimal number and this is decimal fraction we have converted. So in this way we can convert decimal to decimal fraction or decimal fraction to decimal. Is it clear? Okay. Now we will see the like decimal and unlike decimals. Like decimals. Like decimals and unlike decimals. See, if the number of places in the decimal is same, then such decimals are called like decimals. See, for example, 2.16. See, the number of decimal places are 2 here. After point, how many decimal places are there? 2 decimal places. Similarly, 5.09. How many decimal places are there? 2 decimal places. 4.78. How many decimal places are there? After point, 2 decimal places. If it is having the same number of decimal places, then it is called as a like decimals. Okay, like decimals. Then unlike decimals. Unlike decimals. Similarly, if you have different decimal places after the point, then it is called as a unlike decimal place. Unlike decimals. 2.35, 4.189, 5.7. See, here after point 2 places are there, after point 3 decimal places, after point only 1 decimal place. Such decimals are called unlike decimals. Okay, next. Then addition of decimals, addition and subtraction of decimal. How to add the decimal? See, as I have told in the fraction, if you want to add or subtract, compulsory you have to make the same denominator while adding and subtracting. Similarly, even in decimal also, if you want to add or subtract, compulsory you have to make it as like decimals. For example, 3.17 plus 5.2 plus 1.835. See, first let's see the decimal places. Are they like decimals? No, they are not like decimals. But you have to make it a like decimal before adding. So how to make decimal before adding? See, I have given both the operations here. Plus operation as well as minus operation. Let us see. So first we will add these two. So how to add? I told you before adding you have to make it like decimals. So here after decimal only one number is there, but here after decimal two numbers are there. So I have to make, by taking one zero, I have converted as two decimal places. But there is no change in the value. But we have made as two decimal places. Now you can easily add this 3.17 plus 5.20. I have written in different color so that you can understand how I have made into like decimal. Now you can add this 7, 3, 8. How to read this? 8.37. Okay, I have added these two. Now with the sum of these two is 8.37. Now from this I have to subtract 1.835. Now also you have to check whether the two decimals are like decimal. See here after point 3 values. Here after point only 2 values. So by taking here 0, I have made as 3 places. Now you can easily subtract. See now subtract this. Minus 1.835. You can subtract this. 10 minus 5, 5. 6 minus 3, 3. 13 minus 8. How much? 13 minus 8. 7. Sorry, 6. Oh, I'm sorry. 5 is 5. And 8 minus 1, 7. So this is how you can simplify the given value. So this is how you have to add or subtract. Next we will see how to convert decimal to fraction or fraction to decimal. Convert 3.53 as fraction. See, so easy it is. 3.53. Here what you have to do? 3.53 is there. No, after point how many numbers are there? Those many zeros you have to put in the denominator and you have to remove this decimal point. So 353 divided by 100. That's all. How many numbers after decimal point that you have to count, those many numbers of zeros you have to put in the denominator. Denominator ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. So 353 divided by 100. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಝೀರೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. So this is the easy way to convert decimal to fraction. ಅದೇ ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? 763 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 10 ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಝೀರೋ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಡಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ? ಒನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಂದಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಿದೆ? 3. ಸೊ 1 0 ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು 76.3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, 2 0 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ 2 ನಂಬರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಡಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 3 6 ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ 7.63 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಡೆಸಿಮಲನ್ನು ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ decimal numbers. Is it clear? Okay, thank you.